Welcome to Same Spit Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast, and it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you clicked on this video to hear about 50 Cent, Drake, Steve Smith Sr., J. Cole, and or Freddie Gibbs, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now, Spit Squad. J. Cole basically came out in his new song and was saying he'll kill every rapper and he's the best rapper and all of that. And Freddie Gibbs responded and he said, yo, bro, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, you the best. You do this. You do that. You'll kill rappers. Because when it was time to beef and you had a chance to show that you was one of the more elite rappers and you had a chance to get down and dirty, you didn't. Now, one thing people are basically praising Cole for, especially his fans, people out who not his fans don't really care, but his fans are like, oh, he knew this was finna turn into a mudslinging thing. He wasn't prepared for that. He's really too classy for that. Like nah, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. Maybe he thought Kendrick had some dirt on him that he could possibly put out. And he just wanted to stay away from that. He didn't want his skeletons to be put out the closet if he jumped into that beef once he figured out where it was actually going, man. So I don't think it was that J. Cole didn't want to be in between it. I think that J. Cole didn't want some of his laundry to start being put out and change the image and the trajectory of his career, which he already did. So, in my personal opinion, he just shouldn't have jumped in it from the beginning. He should have just kept his mouth shut. But to be honest, outside of J. Cole fans, none of us want to hear J. Cole talking about he's the best. None of us want to hear J. Cole talking about he's a great rapper, he'll body rappers. We don't want to hear none of that because you were entwined in something with two of the top three rappers of this generation and you bowed out. So now we don't want to hear you saying it's like the person who going to the basketball game and then they lose and he didn't have a good game and he say, oh, if I wanted to I could. Nah, if you wanted to you would have because you had the opportunity. So we don't want to hear that now. If you clicked on this video to hear about 50 Cent and Drake teaming up, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now, Spit Squad, 50 Cent says, brainstorming last night, me and at Drake got to get the camera rolling. Biggest ting on your TV, GLG, green light gang. So when he say the biggest ting, that make me think that he's trying to push something in the UK and he gonna use Drake to help him with it. We all know that Power is supposed to go over to the UK and maybe he'll put Drake on TV. And if he put Drake on TV, it's going to be over with. That's going to be one of the biggest shows ever because Drake has a fan base like none other. And it's going to take away from what people perceive him as rap. And also, when Drake put out songs from TV perspective, that's going to make his profile even bigger because he's not going to have to put out those rap bops. He going to be putting out those global songs, those things that transcend genres, that type of music. And another thing, man, his ally, you know, at one point, Jay Prince was real strong and people wouldn't dare try him. But because of the way Whack 100 been treating Jay Prince on the internet, it's been kind of ugly for him, right? So when you Drake, you need somebody powerful next to you on the street level who can kind of handle some of that business and stop people from acting a certain type of way, make those backdoor calls to make people shut up talking about you. But also in the industry level, you need somebody that you can trust who not controlled by the money, who not trying to snake you, who not trying to backdoor you, who can do the things that they need to do, right? And so we got to remember, since the beginning of this, 50 Cent kind of sided with Drake. So to me, that was either strategic by 50 Cent, understanding that no matter what happened in this battle, Drake was going to come out on top or be good, or 50 Cent already was in work with Drake and just hadn't announced it yet. Either way, 50 Cent was playing chess, not checkers, right? So when we look at what's going on with this situation and how this situation finna play out, the only thing I can tell y'all is get y'all popcorn because all those things, those two things I just named in the beginning, 50 Cent definitely got the street. So people not going to be playing with Drake when it come from a street standpoint, but inside of the industry, people not going to play with Drake anymore either. So this is great for Drake to align himself with 50 Cent because 50 Cent has an unwavering fan base. His fan base is die hard. They never going to do anything to go against 50 Cent. They love 50 Cent. So if 50 Cent stand next to Drake and say Drake is good, guys are going to start saying Drake is good. Just like when 50 Cent stood next to Meech T And Lil Meechin said they was good. Everybody said they was good. And soon as 50 Cent stopped standing next to Southwest T, you stop hearing Southwest T name. Soon as 50 Cent stopped standing next to Big Meech and put out that paperwork and talked about Tammy Cohen's, people start saying Big Meech not good. Now, that's not to say that Big Meech not going to have a fan base. I'm just saying that Big Meech is not going to be seen in the standards of like street people eyes and people who stand to the street culture. And honestly, Big Meech haven't did much outside of the street culture for anybody to know him past the street culture. So he kind of stuck in a little situation right here. But anyway, man, smart move by 50 Cent. I ain't gonna lie, man. He did what he had to do, and that was a smart move. If you clicked on this video to hear about ex-NFL player, now ESPN analyst sleeping with somebody's wife, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now, Spit Squad, I'm going to tell y'all something that's crazy. This guy ended up calling Stephen Smith about his wife. His wife had essentially been sleeping with him. And the crazy part about it is that you supposed to be trying to check your wife. You supposed to be trying to talk to your wife. You supposed to be trying to either leave your wife or fix things with your wife. Now, it is wrong to sleep with somebody's wife, just like it's wrong for your wife to sleep with somebody outside of the marriage. But your problem shouldn't be with Stephen Smith, because we don't know if Stephen Smith knew that she was married. Now, the text messages that came through would imply that she knew they were married. But from what I see, it could be a situation where she could just be telling him, yo, I had to go home because I got a boyfriend. Or she could be saying, I got to go home because I got a fiance. Now, I'm not saying that those things aren't wrong to cheat on your fiance or your boyfriend. I'm saying that when we look at the way this situation going, you can't just look at Stephen Smith and try to make him bear the blunt of everything that goes on in this situation. He's not the problem here. One of the biggest problems here is the wife you choose. And sometimes you choose women based on how they look. You choose them based on how freaky they are. You choose them based on what they willing to give you sexually, right? That's not how you should be picking a wife. You should be picking a wife based off of her standards and her morals. You should be picking a wife based off of her background, her family history. You should be picking a wife based off of what's she doing at this point in her life. Is she somebody who always on Instagram looking at the latest bags and looking at the latest flights and comparing her life to them? Is she somebody who every time she see a man, she double tapping his picture? Is she somebody who every time she see a pro athlete, he bought his wife this, he did that for his wife? Hey, man, y'all setting y'all self up for the okie doke, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is why back in the day, parents used to pick wives for the men and pick husbands for the women. Because in our young age, we don't really know how to pick women. Women don't really know how to pick men. When y'all really think about it, man, it's so much chaos and so much disarray, because all the people now are saying, oh, I'm going to pick who I want. Women are telling their parents, I love him, and it don't matter what you think of him, he love me too. And your parents can see he a sleazeball. Your parents can see where this is going. Man, they telling their dad, you just mad because mom left you. Dad, you just mad because mom controls your life. Well, guess what? He's trying to stop you from getting your life controlled, but the kids won't listen, man. So they have to go on their own journey, and they have to bump their own heads. But this situation right here is super crazy when you think about everything that's going on with it and how everything is just, how everything is just going, man. But Stephen Smith Sr., man, get out of this right now. That woman is no good to you, but that man also is no good too. And when I look at like somebody like Stephen Smith Sr., man, you got all the money in the world. You got a high profile job. You had a 16-year NFL career. Go get your own, man. It's a lot of single women out here who willing to do whatever she was willing to do. You got to go and find your own woman. And I think Stephen Smith Sr. is married as well. So that's not going to bode well for him. And especially with it playing out publicly, that divorce is going to be a healthy paycheck if his wife decides to leave him. If you want more updates about this situation with Stephen Smith Sr., ESPN analyst, ex-NFL football player, I need you to hit the subscribe button. If you want more updates on hip-hop and celebrity news, hit the subscribe button. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.